Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes Podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Haygood. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. You can find us everywhere, anywhere, and right here in Scottsdale. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and we are the proud new owners of Scottsdale City Lifestyle. So really anything Scottsdale you want to know, we're here to share with you. I'm so excited to introduce you today to an amazing entrepreneur here in Scottsdale. Her name is Candace Chen. She has created the most comfortable heels, women and men, I'm not discriminating, you never know, out there for us. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have Candace Chen at the table with us. When it comes to protecting you, your family, and all your assets, you need to have someone that you can trust. And that's Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance. Jeremy Mueller has lived in Scottsdale his whole life. How can anyone else know your needs more than someone who's been here and seen it all? Jeremy and his team are always ranked in the top % at State Farm. He cares, he's knowledgeable, and most importantly, he's always available. Don't believe me? Give him a call at 480-515-5223 or find him at jeremymueller.com. When you think of little girls, you may think of dolls playing house and pretty bows. But if you're like my daughter and Candace Chen, you want to play outside, learn, and build Legos. Candace is a graduate of MIT with a degree in mechanical engineering and product design. She started her career in the golf industry, where many of you golfers are probably using her designs and not even knowing it. But it was after a full day of entertaining into a night of dinners that her next product came to mind, Protégé Footwear. The comfortable, pain-free heels for women. Yes, I actually mean it, ladies and gentlemen, they are the best heel. Now, I'm sure you women are thinking, no way, it's not possible, but it is. And Candace Chen and Protégé Footwear are here to tell us more about it. So Candace, congratulations, first of all, on helping us women. And thank you. And welcome to the podcast. I really want to start at the beginning with you because everything that led up to this design started in childhood with your amazing engineering mind. So talk to me about when you discovered really what your passion was of engineering and product design.
Alicia, thank you so much for having me on Scottsdale Vibes. I am so excited to be here to share more about Protégé. And how I even got to designing high heels because, after graduating MIT, I didn't think I was going to be designing high heels or going into fashion. But kind of looking back into certain points in my childhood and educational career, it actually kind of makes sense the more I think about it.
It's funny how things happen and lead us to ways like down a path that we weren't aware that we were headed.
Totally. So looking back when I was a kid, I loved playing with Legos and just building things. I took a woodshop class in middle school and absolutely loved it. I built a little birdhouse, and that was kind of my first time using power tools and really working with my hands to create and engineer something. So from then on, coupled with my love of math and science, I decided to major in mechanical engineering.
What did you think that was going to be like for you? Because again, like you said, you were like, I wasn't into fashion and getting into that. What was mechanical engineering going to be for you? What did it look like?
For me, it was going to be very focused on consumer product design.
Okay.
So at that point, I thought I would be working for a consumer electronics company out of graduation, and life just took me a different direction. I ended up...
As it does sometimes.
Totally. I ended up here in Scottsdale working at a golf equipment company.
Yeah.
And
were you a golfer at all?
I was not. I learned to play while I was at the company.
Okay.
But definitely was not a golfer before joining the company.
And that's a good thing because here in Scottsdale, you kind of have to be. I am not. I am learning how to drive a golf cart better, I should say. But I'm with you. I'm not a golfer. I'm still not. You are. Tell me about going into the golf industry and stuff like that. Were you still able to do the product design? So you were still keeping with that mechanical engineering of consumer goods at that point?
Yeah, totally. So at that role, I was working on a variety of things, anywhere from designing parts of a golf bag to parts of putter grips to, let's see, golf gloves that had shock absorbing padding in them.
Oh.
And even the shipping boxes that the golf clubs go into before they're shipped out. And those are have to be designed very carefully because they have to fit anywhere between 2 clubs to a whole set of clubs, which is 14. And because they are very heavy pieces of metal, you don't want them arriving to the customer and having the clubs be damaged or scratched. So that was definitely an interesting project.
See, like little things like that, like the boxes and everything. I mean, we'll get into this, but even the shoe boxes that you're creating and stuff like that, every little detail matters. And you don't think about the engineering and concept design that goes behind that kind of thing. As a consumer, I just consume, right? I just take it in. So I appreciate people like you. How did we go from golf clubs and gloves and bags and stuff like that to we're now in the fashion world, we are designing shoes and that whole process?
It was totally by chance. So one day I went to a networking event, and then that networking event became like a social happy hour. Mm-hmm. And then it just devolved into the whole dance party.
As a good night does, Candace, let's be honest.
The natural progression of a networking event. So while I was planning on only wearing heels at the event for 2 to 3 hours, it ended up being more like 8 hours, and my feet were just killing me.
Yeah. They go numb.
Yeah, and I wasn't even wearing super high heels. They were like medium height, and my feet I came home and I had blisters, and the balls of my feet were numb, so there was a bit of like the nerves being unhappy in that region. And that's when I decided we need to care more about the comfort designs that go into a heel and not just the aesthetics of a heel.
Well, I mean, you know this better than I do, but I honestly cannot off the top of my head think of one major female shoe designer out there. Most of them are, started in Europe, and it's the men. It's even clothing designers that turned, added shoes to their collections or something like that.
Right. Most of the brands that are known for luxury high heels are men. There are very few women out there.
And how many of them do you think actually wear their products?
Maybe one. No, very few.
All right. So you get home from a night of pain, and when did that aha moment light bulb go off?
So that's when I became super, super curious. I ended up going to the thrift store, bought 20 pairs of used shoes, used heels, just different designs. And then I went home and started taking them all apart.
As an engineer would.
Yes, I did a teardown of a product teardown, as they call it. So I discovered that in most of them, there was very little padding, if any, in all of them.
Okay.
And that the structure was made out of mostly cardboard and plastic.
Ouch.
And there's not a whole lot of consideration for comfort.
Yeah.
So, for example, like this, instead of having it be an ergonomic shape, it would be more of a flat shape made out of cardboard.
So she's talking about the padding right now. And y'all,
so this is the inside of it.
Go check out the YouTube channel and you can see all this. But go ahead and explain it because I'm interested in how this works.
Yes, so most shoes are made very cheaply, most heels. Even some of the well-known like designer brands.
Yeah.
If you actually look into the construction, they're made fairly cheaply.
Did that surprise you actually when you were doing your research?
It did, because I originally thought that brands that were in the $200 plus range would have high-end materials. But no, if you're in that like $200, price range, the materials are still pretty, it's mostly just cardboard, like compressed cardboard.
Yeah, so like layers of it?
Yeah, so when you're walking, there's not a whole lot of shock absorption, and it's just all the shock of the floor just goes straight up to your foot.
I know, I felt them.
Yeah. With Protégé's padding, we have under the ball of the foot, triple layer forefoot padding, and that includes shock absorbing gel, shock absorbing foam, and memory foam.
Wow.
So we really want to protect the balls of the feet and prevent Newton's neuroma, which is a nerve condition that can happen if you wear high heels for too long, there's too much pressure underneath the nerves of your second toe. That can cause permanent damage. So we really want to prevent that.
This just led me into a random question. How much about feet did you actually know before you got into this? Because now you're like getting into the anatomy of your foot to even design a shoe.
Yeah, I didn't know much about feet. I still don't know much about feet except for all the common ailments that come from wearing high heels. Like plantar, I can never say this word, plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, I'm with you, yeah. All right, so you figured out we needed more padding and just the shock absorbent, which is right, because as you're pounding on the ground, I mean, that's the first thing that hits, and that's what hurts. And then for me, it leads into back pain and heel pain and calf pain and all of that kind of stuff.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what life after dissecting 20 pairs of Goodwill shoes led her to Protégé Footwear. Stay tuned. When it comes to family-friendly dentistry, there's only one place in Scottsdale, and that's Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry. Teeth cleaning, innovative, pain-free laser dentistry, teeth whitening, root canals, and really any dental need you may have, Dr. Rob and his staff at Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry can handle it all. They're more than just a dentist, they really are family. We've been going there for over 3 years, and my family loves them. When your kids get excited to go to the dentist, you know you've got a good one. Dr. Rob DeVito is the only dentist in town that can handle it all. Give him a call at 480-990-1905. You can find him on the web at drdevito.com. And don't forget to tell him you heard him on the podcast. We're sitting here with Candace Chen of Protégé Footwear. We were just talking about the most important thing really when it starts with the heel process was talking about the shock absorbing, protecting the ball of our feet, protecting our toes, and the nerve damage that you were talking about. So you're an MIT graduate, product design, engineering, all of this is natural to you. Once you figured out what needed to be done, you wanted to create a stylish shoe as well. I mean, I love shoes. I love my heels. I cannot give them up. I remember being 9 months pregnant, and I stopped to go get a new pair of shoes on the way home. And the lady looked at me. She goes, you cannot wear those. Like, you're going to fall forward, ma'am. And I was like, no, these are my reward. Like, she's coming out. He's coming out in 3 weeks. This is my reward. And I did. I bought them, and I walked out with them because I missed them, and I love them. Style is important to us. Comfort is important to us. How did you go from discovering what needed to be done to make sure our feet were safe and comfortable to making a sexy, stylish, everyday wear shoe for us women?
Yeah, so after I did all this research into comfort and kind of got the various comfort feature considerations nailed down, I then started doing some research into what were the most popular styles in town. So I definitely spent a lot of time around Old Town Scottsdale, in the lounges and bars, just kind of observing the style.
You're watching people's feet,
yeah,
literally.
I was watching people's feet. I was trying to just get an idea of what styles were the most popular and what styles seemed like they would also be very timeless.
Key, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started with the stiletto heel. Let's talk about the design of the stiletto because it is unique to you and Protégé. And I love I'll let you go into like the toe thong and everything.
Yeah, totally. So this was our very first product launch. We launched in black.
The stiletto.
The stiletto.
Yep.
So there's several very special things about this design, one of which is the toe post that's in the front of the shoe that's attached to the toe strap.
Think of it as like of the thong of a flip-flop almost, but very thin and further back on your toes, I believe.
Right. So that's where the inspiration came from because growing up in California, we wore a lot of flip-flops. Yep. And I always preferred them to slides because they, for me, did a better job of preventing my feet from sliding forward.
Yep.
So I added a toe post to the toe strap to prevent the foot from sliding forward. There's also arch support foam inside this shoe, as well as back in the heel a very deep heel cup, which helps to stabilize the foot.
Oh.
So all of these components work together to create a lot of stability. So you're not having to, because if you're walking and you're unstable, you're going to naturally put more pressure in the front than in the back. So this helps to
Makes sense. Okay.
redistribute the pressure a little bit and add shock absorption.
I love it. Now, you even took it a step further because we all love a classic stiletto, but we love a good stylish one too. So your straps are unique to you as well. Talk about the clasp, and they're interchangeable, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, so instead of a traditional buckle, once you set the buckle length by moving this buckle piece wherever you would like it to fit the size of your ankle, they're a quick disconnect type of buckle. So you would just slot the buckle into the hook, and it's just like that. So after a night out, you don't have to be fumbling with trying to undo the buckle of a shoe, which
Get them off.
Yeah, we all know can be a struggle. And this, the other special thing about this strap is that they are interchangeable, and we do offer a silver studded version and a gold studded version. So think like rock studs.
Yes, I love that on both of them too, which is great. And another thing that these little details is like, it's the details that I'm observing and realizing every time I wear them. My old stilettos that were like this, the strap would always get caught in the back. I've actually ripped 2 pairs of the strap, which just ruins the shoe at that point because they move all around. When yours clasp, it's big enough that it doesn't get trapped in there. It doesn't slide around. And to me, that was like, oh my gosh, these are going to last so much longer just for that reason right there. Because there's no elastic to rip apart, which is what was happening to my other ones.
Definitely. Yeah, that can be a problem with other styles of shoes. One thing, too, that I've considered is the straps, the ankle straps across different styles that have ankle straps are interchangeable as well. So kind of thinking into the future when we have different other products that use the ankle strap. For example, we have the bridal heel with a bow that you can wear. You can take off the bow. You can take the bow, put it in your hair. You can even wear it like on the back or on the side or on the front.
So even those are interchangeable. See?
Yes.
So it's multi-purpose. So we have the stiletto, you have the bridle, and the bridle heel is different as well, right? Is it a little thicker? Or is it a stiletto as well? No, it's a chunky.
It's a block heel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Key for getting when you get married and you're on your feet dancing and everything. Another stylish. And those have a beautiful embezzlement on the front as well. Just who doesn't like a little bling on their wedding day and stuff like that? And I love that the bow's interchangeable. And you have a black block heel as well.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And it also comes with a quick disconnect strap as well as a versatile bow.
Love it.
They're both made out of satin.
I love it. Classic. The designs keep on going. We have a slingback shoe as well. Talk about that.
So the slingback is the lowest one out of all the styles.
That's a good. How high are your heels from the stiletto to the block to the slingback?
So the stiletto is about 4.3 inches.
Okay.
The block heel is 3.7.
Okay. Again, you're an engineer. You're like an expert. You're like trying. Yeah.
Sorry if I'm off by a couple point something inches. And I believe a slingback is 3.5 inches.
Okay. So you still have that solid height that we appreciate with the heels, which I love. Slingbacks are classic for the everyday wear when you have meetings and office work and stuff like that. Again, all of the same patented comfort and accessibility with all of that. But this one has, because it's a slingback, you can't change the heel strap. But what are you thinking about adding to it?
So we received some customer feedback that they would be more excited about the slingback if it were versatile like the other shoes. Because all the other shoes you can wear different ways. The slingback you can currently only wear one way. So we are working on producing this artisan crystal piece that will go in the front, and working on a clip that you can clip it on and off without damaging the leather.
Yes. all of a sudden now you can wear it during the day, bring those clips, and then you can turn it into a night outfit, right?
Yeah, totally. Or if you are
this.
wearing other jewelry that matches this accessory, you can.
I'm even thinking about, like, I have a wedding to go to in October. I could even wear that one night for the casual, cocktail hour, and then for the formal wedding, put the clips on it or something just to dress it up and have the same heel. See, packing less, more. I love it. But that's not all, of course, because your brain does not stop working, Candace. What else are we designing for Protégé Footwear right now?
Yeah, so this design I'm very excited about, and it has also kept me up at night. So this is the boot that we are currently still developing.
It's a little black suede-looking booty.
Yeah, it's a Lycra stretch boot. And what would make this boot special is that, say you're traveling or you don't have a whole lot of space in your tote bag, you can extend the boot so that it's actually a knee-high boot or an over-the-knee boot. This is the shorter extension, and this is the longer Oops, they stick together.
It literally goes from a booty to knee-high to thigh-high. And 3 shoes and 1 is what you've created, Candace. I'll take them all, please. And how does this work? Like, how does the extension work on the booty?
They work with a magnetic design.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did this idea come from? Like, where was like, oh, I'm going to make magnetic boots? Like...
I have actually worked on 2 separate projects at 2 previous employers that involve magnets, so I'm fairly
familiar with how they work and stuff like that.
And it's always interesting to me to put magnets where they don't usually go.
Yeah, I agree. So when we're talking about the booty and stuff like that, is this one out yet? What stage of this are we in for creation?
We're actually in early development.
Okay.
So
listen, I got great feet that need testing, Candace. You let me know. I'll be there for you.
So the design might change and the attachments might change. So this is not set in stone yet. We usually move from early development to consumer testing and then to just further along the...
Yeah. And all right, like I said, I'm a great consumer, Candace, just letting you know. Scottsdale's a great consumer as well. I love that y'all started here.
I'd love for you to test and give feedback.
Well, I will absolutely do it. This kind of led into my next question. Everything you've done is just that continuation of learning to get to this step. You're talking about even the magnets. I've done worked on previous products that worked with magnets, and that's how I got this idea for it. Talk about the importance, really, of what learning and engineering and life does for product development and society and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I believe one of my values is being something that I value is being a lifelong learner, and that value was part of the brand values of Protégé. So being a protege means literally being a student. You're always learning. You're always improving. Kind of like the sky's the limit. Yeah. no too impossible.
I love that. Is that where the name came from?
Yeah, it was. So the name also comes from that we're an innovative company and that we're always striving to break boundaries.
And you are, a lot of ways. So we have 1, 2, 3, basically, different designs. This is just the beginning for Protégé Footwear. Because you just admitted, and I can look at you and tell that your brain never sleeps or stops, what does the future for Protégé Footwear look like?
So I believe, 5, 7 years from now, Protégé will be a force in the industry that actually inspires other heel companies to take comfort seriously without sacrificing style.
Step it up, guys.
Yeah, and at that point, Protégé will be a global company.
I love it. Before we leave, Candace, a couple of things. I want everyone to go check out protégéfootwear.com. You can find all of her products, order from her. It'll be shipped to you directly. Also, she has fantastic boxes that are really nice as well because, as you heard her say, that's important to the shipping and to the product itself. I love those little details. Everything matters in what you do. But I know you came here, you've been here for a while. I mean, at this point, you're a Scottsdale local. What is your favorite Scottsdale vibe, Candace?
It's definitely changed since I moved here because when
love
I
that.
moved here, I was kind of in my early 20s.
Yeah, that's fair.
So back then, it was like, yeah, Maya.
I love it.
But nowadays, it's more like, oh, City Hall.
I love that, which is great, by the way. That's kind of my vibe, too.
Yeah, and I can watch feet at City Hall, too. Mastros.
It is a great place to go, like, see what's going on and see the styles and what people are in and what people are looking for right now. I love it. All right. Well, my thing, I'm ready for some bright colors next. I have my classics. Let's do it, Candace. And seriously, guys, I wear my shoes often. I've worn them to plenty of meetings. I've walked around town. I have driven in them, and they really are an everyday heel. So, Candace, thank you for saving our feet. And I think most importantly, thank you for caring enough. You know, it's one of those things where you don't realize what you're missing until it's there. And you're like, gosh, why is this just now happening? And I'm really upset that I didn't think of it either because it's a great idea. In the meantime, you can find out more. She is featured in Scottsdale City Lifestyle in this month's style issue. So you can read a whole bunch more, see more of her products and pictures, and learn more about Candace and her journey. And you don't forget to check this out on YouTube where you can see all of the products that we were talking about today. Stay tuned. We'll be back some more calendar of events. Candace, congratulations on your huge success. I know we're just beginning with you and to see you around town. And thank you for taking care of us.
Thank you so much for having me, Alicia. I can't wait for what the future holds.
Buying a home can be scary and sometimes frustrating, but all of that can go away with the right realtor. And that's where Sean Shackleton with the Shackleton Group is here for you. Sean has over 25 years experience in real estate. She's here to get you what you want and won't settle for less. She's experienced, knowledgeable, and understands this market, which these days is always changing. Take the stress out of your next home purchase by calling Sean at 480-734-7277. You can also find her at theshackletongroup.com. As always, Scottsdale is plenty of fun to have. And for all you foodies out there, get ready because it's our week. Arizona Restaurant Week is happening right now. Restaurants from around town put together a special menu of pricing and food. So go check it out. Grab a date, go solo, go out with ladies, gents, friends, whatever. It's from September 8th through 17th. And Junk in the Trunk. So get your wallets ready and make some room because the largest shopping weekend of the year is happening this weekend at Westworld. Junk in the Trunk is back and better than ever. An opportunity to get up and close and personal with some of our favorite small businesses. And doors open Friday, September 15th. So get in before the crowds hit over the weekend. You can get a sneak peek with some of those tickets. And for all you brides and grooms out there, the Scottsdale Bridal Expo is out there. Gentlemen, just go ahead and start going with your fiance. It'll save some arguments. For all you brides, this is the event you don't want to miss. It is free to the public. It's a one-stop shop for all your wedding needs, from DJs to florists, suit designers, and more. It's from 10 to 2 p.m. on Sunday, September 17th at the Scottsdale Center for Performing Arts. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast listening app. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Scottsdale Vibes Podcast. And remember to subscribe to our newsletter by going to scottsdalevibes.media. That way you'll never miss what's going on in Scottsdale, along with Scottsdale City Lifestyle. Have a great week, Scottsdale. Keep vibing, and I'll see you around town.